Welcome to Shaping Our Writing. I'm Justin Rempel. In this video, we're going to take a look at the most important things that you need to consider when you're planning absolutely any piece of writing. So there are four main things that you want to consider when you're planning any piece of writing. You want to think about your purpose, you want to think about your audience, you want to think about your form, and you want to think about your content. These are the four main things to think about, and I'm going to break down for you what each one of those really means. So the first one that we want to talk about is purpose, and generally this is the aspect that you want to start with when you're planning any writing piece, because the purpose is why we're writing, and this is at the root of any assignment or any task or any writing project that you'll ever have in your life. It's going to define all of your choices. So it's really important to start here. Think about, why am I writing this in the first place? What is the point of this writing? What am I hoping to accomplish? And broadly speaking, there's four main reasons why we would want to be communicating through writing. One of the most common is to inform. So we might write an informative or an explanatory piece to try to communicate information to someone else. Okay, if we know that we're trying to communicate information, then that's going to shape everything else, who we're writing to, what kind of form we use, all of that stuff. But this is not the only reason why people write to each other. Another reason why we commonly write is to persuade each other of things. And you might write an argumentative or a persuasive piece in which you have an opinion and you're trying to convince other people that your opinion is in fact correct, it's well-founded, well-researched. A third reason why we might write is to express feeling. Okay, these are more personal pieces where we communicate how much we care about other people, or we express frustration. A complaint letter is a very expressive form of writing where we are expressing discontent, perhaps with a product. The fourth and final reason why we would write is to entertain. And many stories are told with the purpose of entertaining other people. The second aspect that we really want to consider once we know our purpose is our audience. Who exactly are we writing to? What type of people is this writing for? So you really want to think about the demographics of your audience and what that looks like. Is your writing actually for absolutely everyone, or is it a little bit more targeted or focused than that? Often focus is helpful in directing our writing. Think about people's age. Are they young? Are they teenagers? Are they older? Children, adults? How old are the people you're writing to? Think about their level of expertise in the subject that you're writing on. Are they really proficient? In that case, if they're experts, you can really use technical language or more advanced ideas. If they're beginners, then you want to introduce everything very simply and start with the basics. Also think about their interest level. Do they care? If they don't, you might need to do some initial convincing or entertaining up front to draw them in. Think about your audience's relationship with you as the writer. If they're very close, this might be a very informal communication. You might be able to use slang or inside jokes. If they're colleagues or other professionals, you're probably going to have to use more formal language. So think about how you're connected to the people that you're writing to. And think about the context that you're writing in and that your writing is going to be received in. Think about cultural considerations, socioeconomic status, the location, the geography where people live. All of these factors are going to influence the tone that you write in and the types of content that you include. The third aspect we want to consider is the form of our writing. And this is, how are we writing? What form does it take? And there's all types of writing that we can use. We can use essays, often to inform or persuade. We can use letters. to communicate. Often those are used for more personal and informal communications. We can use memos, which are very short, informative notices. We can use stories, but even within stories, there's all types and lengths, short stories and novels, and those are very different. We can use poems. There's all sorts of different types of poetry and songs to communicate. We can use a speech. We can use presentations and slideshows. We can use pamphlets and brochures, which are very short and informative. Which form is most appropriate for your purpose and your audience, your writing goals? The fourth and final aspect that we really want to consider is our content. What is our topic? What are we writing about? And what is it important to include on that topic? So when you're thinking about what you're actually including, you're really thinking about quantity. How much do you need to include? How long or short does this writing piece need to be? And you're thinking about the essence, what's essential, what's important, and what's extraneous or extra. And that's really going to change depending on the other factors on your form and your audience and your purpose. For example, if you're writing a story to entertain, a lot of extra detail might actually be important and valuable to your story. If you're writing to inform, you're really going to want to stay focused and on topic.